Seniors, 7 spices to avoid at all costs, and to that are actually safe to use. Imagine walking into your kitchen and realizing that, hidden among colorful jars and bottles, there might be one of the biggest enemies to your health. Sounds like an exaggeration? Well, studies from institutions like the American Heart Association show that millions of Americans struggle with high blood pressure, kidney issues, and heart disease problems, often made worse by what they put on their plates every single day. And believe it or not, some seemingly innocent seasonings play a quiet role in this. Now think about it. Have you ever felt bloated, had heartburn, or noticed your blood pressure spike after what seemed like a simple meal? What if I told you that part of the problem could be the very way you season your food? That's right, we are not talking about the obvious culprits like soda and fast food, but spices sitting right there in your kitchen, within arm's reach. This is the silent danger. What many see as just a touch of flavor can, in reality, trigger inflammation, raise stroke risk, or even overload the liver. But here's the good news. Just as some spices harm you, others can be powerful allies for longevity, protecting your joints, your memory, and even your heart. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from? Drop it in the comments. I love seeing how far this community reaches. And don't forget to subscribe to Age with Strength, because here you'll find simple, natural, and powerful tips to live longer and better. Of course, nutritional advice. Always consult a healthcare provider before making changes to your diet or self-care routine. A lot of people think spices are just about adding flavor. Affect your body in profound ways. It's as if each spoonful you sprinkle is filled with tiny capsules of energy, some helpful, others harmful. And once you're over 60, this becomes even more important. Your metabolism isn't the same. Your liver and kidneys may be more sensitive, and your blood pressure less stable. What used to feel harmless could now have serious consequences. Just a little too much can trigger heartburn, fluid retention, or blood pressure spikes without you realizing what caused it. On the flip side, spices can also be your strongest allies, a true protective shield. They can help control inflammation, strengthen your heart, improve digestion, and even support memory. It's like turning your kitchen into a natural pharmacy. You know how to choose wisely, and that's exactly why. From now on, we're diving into what really matters, the 7 seasonings that may look harmless, but could be quietly undermining your health day after day. Pay close attention, because some of them are among the most common in American kitchens. You might be using them without even suspecting the risk. Dangerous. Spice 1. Excess refined salt, hidden sodium in ready-made seasonings. The first seasoning on our list could be none other than the old familiar refined salt. It's in practically every American kitchen, and in small amounts, it's essential for the body to function properly. What's recommended? The CDC estimates that nearly 90% of Americans consume more sodium than they should every day. The health consequences are serious. Nearly half of U.S. adults. For those already living with hypertension, every extra gram of salt raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes even further. It's like forcing the heart to pump against an ever-thickening wall, straining the cardiovascular system with every single beat. What many people don't realize is, hidden in ready-made seasonings, the colorful jars and packets that promise instant flavor for meats, poultry, pasta, and even vegetables. BBQ rubs, chicken seasoning blends, and bouillon cubes often pack sky-high levels of sodium, far beyond what your body needs. This is what we call hidden sodium. It blends with the flavor and slips by unnoticed. For older adults, this extra load of salt doesn't just raise blood pressure, it also causes fluid retention. Conditions like heart failure. It's a silent enemy, building up day after day without obvious warning signs until the body is already paying the price. The good news: fresh herbs like parsley, chives, and basil, or even natural dried seasonings without additives, can dramatically cut down your salt intake without sacrificing taste. Small, consistent choices like these make a big difference in keeping your heart lighter and your blood pressure in check. So tell me, do you tend to eat a lot of salt with your meals? If your answer is yes, then this video came at the right time to help you make the switch while there's still time and move toward a healthier life. Dangerous spice 2, black pepper. Black pepper is considered by many the king of spices. You'll find it in almost every American household, from fancy restaurants to the simple breakfast table, sitting right next to the salt shaker. A dash of pepper brings dishes to life, enhances flavors, and yes, it does have some benefits when used in moderation. The problem starts when it's overused, especially for those over 60. Pepper contains a compound called piperine, which gives it that signature spicy kick. In small amounts, it can even help stimulate digestion. But in excess, it acts like a true irritant to the stomach and esophagus. For people dealing with gastritis, acid reflux, or ulcers, conditions all too common in later years, pepper can be like pouring gasoline on a fire, intensifying burning, pain, and discomfort. And it doesn't stop there. A piperine can also interfere with the absorption of certain medications, reducing their effectiveness. This is particularly important for older adults, who often take daily prescriptions for blood pressure. Imagine someone carefully sticking to their treatment, taking their pills every day, but unknowingly canceling out part of the benefit just by overusing pepper. Forward, excessive black pepper can also cause dehydration and intestinal irritation, leading to diarrhea or cramps. For younger people, that might just be an annoying episode, but for seniors, the impact can be more serious, causing mineral imbalances or even muscle weakness. So, what does this mean in practice? That salad, soup, or omelet you generously sprinkle with black pepper might be hiding risks you'd never expect. The best approach is to use it sparingly, as a subtle touch rather than the star of the dish. To safely enhance flavor, herbs like oregano, thyme, and rosemary can step in without upsetting the stomach or interfering with medication. In short, and moderation. After all, when your body requires extra care, every choice matters, and in this case, less really can mean more health and more quality of life. Dangerous stands out thanks to its vibrant color. Sprinkled on meats, soups, sauces, or even scrambled eggs, it gives that appetizing reddish tone. But what many people don't realize is that there's a big difference between natural paprika made simply from dried ground pepper and the industrial smoked paprika that's taken over American grocery shelves in recent years. The smoked paprika sold in jars and packets at supermarkets may contain much more than just peppers. To extend shelf life, intensify color, and boost flavor, the industry adds high amounts of sodium, chemical preservatives, and even artificial flavorings. Balm for the heart and kidneys. One of the biggest risks is the hidden sodium. Many older adults already struggle with high blood pressure and, without realizing it, end up adding even more salt to their diet through these ready-made seasonings. A single spoonful of industrial smoked paprika can contain as much sodium as a serving of French fries. And since it's often used together with other spices and table salt, the cumulative effect is devastating. The heart and blood vessels feel the overload day after day, raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Another concern is the compounds produced during the smoking process. When done naturally and artisanally, smoking can be acceptable in small doses. But in the industrial version, paprika is exposed to artificial smoke and chemical residues that, over time, may contribute to chronic inflammation in the body. Research suggests that some of these byproducts may even be linked to higher risks of gastrointestinal cancer. And we can't forget the digestive impact. Many older adults report heartburn, bloating, and discomfort after eating foods seasoned with smoked paprika. The liver and stomach, already more sensitive at this stage of life, need to work harder to process the additives, which can result in fatigue and digestive imbalances. In practice, where does this spice show up? In pre-made marinades for meats, roasted chicken seasonings, barbecue sauces, and even in processed snacks like potato chips and spicy crisps. In other words, even people who don't cook with smoked paprika may be consuming large amounts of it without realizing. The solution is simple. Always choose pure paprika, without additives and in small amounts. Even better, use natural alternatives to add color and flavor, such as turmeric or even fresh bell peppers, which not only enhance your food but also provide real vitamins and antioxidants. This way, you can still enjoy tasty dishes without exposing your body to the hidden weight of industrial seasonings. Dangerous spice for nutmeg. Nutmeg is a spice tied to comfort, family memories, and classic dishes. Who hasn't tried mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, or even holiday eggnog with that slightly sweet touch of nutmeg. In the United States, it's practically a symbol of fall and winter. But behind that pleasant aroma lies a little-known risk. In excess, nutmeg can turn into a true poison for the body. The danger comes from a compound called myristicin, naturally present in nutmeg. In small amounts, this essential oil usually doesn't cause problems. However, when consumed in larger doses, it can have psychoactive effects. That means in addition to nausea, vomiting, and dizziness, myristicin can cause mental confusion, hallucinations, and even heart palpitations. There are documented reports of people in the U.S. ending up in the ER after consuming large amounts of nutmeg in bizarre, even in home experiments. Although it's rare for someone to use spoonfuls of this spice at once, the risk for older adults is more subtle. The aging body processes substances more slowly, and the liver may have greater difficulty metabolizing the essential oils in nutmeg. As a result, even doses considered moderate can cause discomforts like intense heartburn, headache, drowsiness, and an overall feeling of weakness. Another important point is interaction with medications. Many seniors take drugs for blood pressure, circulation, anxiety, or sleep. Nutmeg can enhance the sedative effects of some of these medications, increasing the risk of falls, dizziness, and loss of balance in dangerous situations at this stage of life. Imagine someone drinking their nightly milk with nutmeg, thinking it will help them sleep better, but in reality, compromising their stability and safety when they get up during the night. In everyday American cooking, nutmeg shows up in both sweet and savory recipes, often in dishes that already contain heavy ingredients like sugar, butter, and cream. This creates an even more problematic combination for the heart, liver, and digestion of those who need to maintain a balanced diet. This doesn't mean you should never use nutmeg again. The secret is in tiny amounts. Just a pinch is enough to add aroma and flavor. Anything more doesn't bring extra benefits and may introduce unnecessary risks. As substitutes, spices like cinnamon in small doses from the right variety, as we'll see later, or cloves, can provide a rich aroma without exposing the body to the same dangers. In short, nutmeg should be treated with respect. It's a strong spice with quick and powerful effects. Used in moderation, it can certainly have its place in a flavorful kitchen. But in excess, especially after age 60, it stops being just a detail and becomes a hidden enemy to health. Dangerous Spice 5 pre-made meat seasoning few products have conquered. American kitchens, as much as ready-made seasonings, they come in colorful jars, single-use packets, and even cubes that promise to turn any dish into a mouth-watering meal. BBQ rubs, poultry seasoning, Italian blends, bouillon powders, liquid marinades, all of them have something in common: the promise of convenience. But what they actually deliver is often a package full of health problems, especially for those over 60. The first major villain in these seasonings is monosodium glutamate, MSG. It's used to enhance flavor, making food taste better than it really is, but the cost can be high. Studies report that excessive consumption is linked to headaches, fluid retention, high blood pressure, and even heart palpitations. Imagine someone already living with hypertension using pre-made seasonings every day. Without realizing, they're multiplying the invisible risks to their heart. In addition to MSG, ready-made seasonings are loaded with excessive sodium, and it's not just regular table salt, but various forms of sodium hidden under complicated names like sodium phosphate, sodium bicarbonate, and sodium caseinate. The result is the same: more strain on the kidneys, more fluid retention, and more work for the heart. For older adults, who often already deal with kidney failure or leg edema, this detail is even more concerning. Another point worth noting is the artificial colorings and preservatives. They're added to keep the seasoning looking vibrant and smelling fresh for months on supermarket shelves. But the human body wasn't designed to handle large amounts of these substances, especially an aging body, whose metabolism no longer eliminates toxins as efficiently. The buildup of these additives can contribute to inflammatory processes and even increase the risk of chronic diseases over time. And the convenience, which seems to be the main advantage of these products, ends up being a trap. Instead of seasoning food naturally with garlic, onion, herbs, and pure spices, consumers fall for the temptation of ready-made mixes, believing they're choosing the quicker path, but what they gain in time, they lose in health. It's like trading an effective medicine for a pill full of unnecessary side effects. For those over 60, every spoonful of ready-made seasoning can be compared to an extra weight pressing down on the heart. Fortunately, there's a simple solution. Prepare your own homemade blend. With pure garlic powder, additive-free onion powder, oregano, thyme, and a touch of turmeric, you can create a flavorful, healthy seasoning free of hidden chemicals. This not only protects your health, but also brings back the real joy of cooking, with ingredients that nourish and strengthen the body. In short, ready-made seasonings are the classic example of a shortcut that isn't worth it. They may look convenient, but behind the attractive packaging hide substances that silently corrode your health. For those who value longevity, vitality, and independence, the best choice is always to go back to the simple and natural. Dangerous. Spice 6 Cinnamons. Cinnamon is one of the most beloved spices in American cuisine. Found in apple pies, breads, cookies, porridges, coffees, and even natural supplements. It's associated with comfort, energy, and even blood sugar control benefits. But behind that sweet and familiar aroma lies a little-known detail. Not all cinnamon is the same, and the variety most consumed in the United States can be harmful when used in excess. Most of the cinnamon sold in American supermarkets is cassia cinnamon, originally from China, and cheaper to produce. While it has a strong, bold flavor, it contains a compound called coumarin in much higher concentrations than Ceylon cinnamon, also known as true cinnamon. In small doses, coumarin usually doesn't cause problems, but in large amounts, it can overload the liver, affect blood clotting, and even cause liver damage in sensitive individuals. This becomes especially concerning for older adults who are already taking medications. Many Americans over 60 take anticoagulants to prevent clots, statins for cholesterol, or liver medications. Frequent consumption of cassia cinnamon in supplements, teas, or homemade recipes can amplify the effects of these drugs and throw the body off balance. It's like mixing two medicines without a doctor's guidance. The risks increase silently. Another key factor is the false sense of security. Because it's a natural spice, many people believe that the more they use, the better it will be for their health. It's not uncommon to find people taking cinnamon capsules to help control blood sugar or adding generous spoonfuls to their breakfast coffee every day. But what could be helpful, in excess, ends up becoming a burden on the liver and circulatory system. On top of that, overuse of cinnamon can irritate the mouth and throat and trigger allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Some even report palpitations and dizziness after consuming large doses in teas or supplements. For those with fragile health, this can raise the risk of falls and other household accidents. This doesn't mean cinnamon should be banned from the diet. On the contrary, when used in moderation, it can bring real benefits, like helping regulate blood sugar levels and providing antioxidants. The secret lies in choosing the right varieties. Cinnamon, less common in supermarkets but available in specialty stores and online, is much safer for frequent consumption. So, if you love the taste of cinnamon, use it wisely. Stick to small amounts. Always pay attention to how your body reacts, and avoid cinnamon supplements unless recommended by a doctor. This way, you can keep enjoying the pleasure of this beloved spice without exposing your health to hidden risks. After all, in later life, every food choice is like an investment in the future, and no one wants to waste energy fixing damage that could have been prevented. Dangerous, Spice 7, Industrial BBQ, and Poultry Seasoning Mixes. Nothing feels more American than gathering the family for a backyard barbecue, with juicy meat and that irresistible aroma of spice-grilled flavor. Supermarket shelves are packed with options for this: BBQ rubs, poultry seasoning, and blends that promise to turn any cut of meat into a restaurant-worthy meal. But behind the flashy packaging and bold taste, these industrial mixes hide one of the biggest dangers for people over 60. The first problem is the excess sodium, not just from regular salt, but also from various compounds added to extend shelf life and intensify flavor. Each spoonful of these mixes can contain over 200 to 300 milligrams of sodium, and since they're typically used in large amounts to cover whole cuts of meat, the final intake can easily surpass the daily limit recommended by the American Heart Association. The result? High blood pressure, fluid retention, kidney overload, and a heart that has to work twice as hard in addition to salt. These mixes often contain large amounts of added sugar, especially the ones made for barbecue. That sugar caramelizes on the surface of the meat while cooking, creating a sweet, crunchy crust, but one that does no favors for your health. For older adults with prediabetes or diabetes, this poses a direct risk to glucose control, triggering blood sugar spikes that can be dangerous in the long run. Another concerning point is the artificial additives, colorings, preservatives, and flavorings that standardize taste and appearance. The body doesn't process these chemicals easily, and as the years go by, the liver loses efficiency in eliminating them. This means that small daily doses accumulate, contributing to inflammatory processes and the premature aging of cells. To make matters worse, many of these industrial mixes also contain flavor enhancers like monosodium glutamate, MSG. It can cause headaches, palpitations, and in sensitive people, even episodes of weakness and malaise. Picture an older adult enjoying a family barbecue, only to spend hours later suffering from high blood pressure, bloating, and digestive discomfort because of a seasoning that seemed harmless. The good news is there are simple alternatives. You can easily make your own homemade barbecue blends using dried herbs like oregano, thyme, rosemary, pure additive-free paprika, and a controlled pinch of sea salt. The flavor stays intense, but without the hidden chemical load of industrial versions. On top of that, natural marinades with garlic, onion, lemon juice, and olive oil can turn meats and poultry into delicious dishes with far more benefits for the heart and digestion. In short, ready-made barbecue and poultry seasonings are a dangerous shortcut. They promise quick flavor, but deliver silent risks that, over time, can compromise both health and independence. For anyone seeking longevity with quality, the secret is going back to the basics: natural, fresh ingredients used in balance. After all, nothing tastes better than enjoying a meal without burdening your body with what it doesn't need. After learning about these 7 dangerous spices, it's natural to wonder, so what now? Does that mean every seasoning I use is bad for my health? The answer is no. The goal here isn't to scare you, but to open your eyes to choices that often go unnoticed in everyday life. The truth is that not all spices are villains. On the contrary, nature has blessed us with seasonings that protect the heart, reduce inflammation, strengthen immunity, and even support memory. When chosen wisely, they turn your kitchen into a true ally of health, offering benefits no industrial seasoning could ever deliver. It's as if we stand before 2 doors. One leads to the body's silent decline, with high blood pressure, digestive issues, and premature aging. The other opens to a path of vitality, energy, and longevity. The difference lies only in the seasoning you choose to put on your plate. And now, we've reached the most anticipated moment of this video. Let's reveal 2 spices that are not only safe for those over 60, but also offer scientifically proven benefits for health and quality of life. 2 simple, accessible, and powerful allies that can turn every meal into natural care for the body. Safe Spice 1. Turmeric curcuma longa. Turmeric, also known as curcuma, is one of the most studied spices in modern science, and at the same time, one of the oldest used by humankind. Its golden yellow color is unmistakable, and it's no wonder that in many cultures it's seen as a symbol of vitality and longevity. For those over 60, turmeric can be a true gift from nature, offering benefits that go far beyond flavor. The great secret of turmeric lies in a compound called curcumin. This natural pigment has such powerful anti-inflammatory action that researchers at the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins have been studying its effects on conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Think of inflammation as a low flame silently burning inside the body, weakening cells and organs. Curcumin acts like a fire extinguisher, cooling down that flame and helping the body work in better balance. For older adults, this is especially important. Joints, often worn down by decades of use, can benefit from turmeric, which helps relieve pain and stiffness. In addition, studies show that curcumin may support heart health by improving circulation and helping to control cholesterol levels. There's also evidence that it can protect memory, lowering the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. But here's an important detail. Curcumin alone is poorly absorbed by the body. The good news is that just a small amount, of black pepper can increase absorption by up to 20 times. That means combining turmeric with a pinch of black pepper can dramatically boost its positive effects. So, how can you use turmeric in everyday life? It pairs beautifully with soups, broths, rice, chicken, fish, and even potatoes. Just 1 teaspoon while cooking is enough to brighten and enrich your meal. Some people also enjoy making golden milk, warm milk with turmeric, honey, and a pinch of the safe type of cinnamon which helps the body relax before bedtime. In short, turmeric is a simple, inexpensive spice available in any American supermarket. Yet it carries the power to naturally protect your health. For those looking to age with less pain, more energy, and stronger defense against chronic diseases, it can become an indispensable ally in the kitchen. Safe spice to garlic. If there's one spice that truly deserves the title of kitchen medicine, it's garlic, used for thousands of years across different cultures. Garlic not only transforms the flavor of food, but also delivers benefits confirmed by modern science. For Americans over 60, including garlic in daily life can be one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect health without turning to complicated solutions. The key to garlic's power lies in a compound called allicin, released when the clove is cut, crushed, or chewed. This compound is responsible for its distinctive aroma and much of its medicinal properties. Studies conducted by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, and the Cleveland Clinic show that garlic can help lower cholesterol levels, improve circulation, and even assist in controlling blood pressure. It's as if each little clove were a protective shield for the heart. Another major benefit is garlic's antimicrobial action. It helps the body fight bacteria, fungi, and even some viruses, boosting the immune system. For older adults whose natural defenses aren't as strong as they once were, this can mean fewer respiratory infections, less risk of severe flu, and faster recovery when health is challenged. Garlic also offers antioxidant effects, fighting free radicals that speed up cellular aging. That means regular consumption may support not just physical well-being, but also the vitality of the skin, memory, and cognitive functions. So, how can you enjoy these benefits daily? Garlic can be used in countless ways: lightly sautéed in olive oil to season vegetables, roasted in the oven until creamy and sweet, or even raw in small amounts like in sauces and salads. A key tip is to let chopped or crushed garlic sit for a few minutes before cooking. This allows more allicin to form, boosting its positive effects. Of course, moderation matters. Too much raw garlic can irritate the stomach, and people taking anticoagulants should check with their doctor before increasing intake, since it can enhance the effects of those medications. But when used wisely, garlic is a powerful, natural, easily accessible, and found in almost every kitchen. In short, each clove of garlic is more than just seasoning. It's a tiny ally against premature aging, cardiovascular disease, and loss of vitality. For those who want to live longer and better, maintaining independence and energy after 60, garlic is a smart, tasty, and safe choice. Did you know that there are hundreds of natural solutions, proven, safe, and within your reach to relieve pain, regulate blood pressure, improve sleep and digestion, and even support diabetes control in a complementary way? If you're interested in a more natural, intelligent, and effective path to take care of your health, then you need to discover the Natural Healing Guide. This complete ebook brings together the very best of natural medicine: herbs, oils, supplements, home remedies for blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, pain, skin, and much more. And the best part, with clear, safe, and practical guidance even for those who are just starting out. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Don't miss it. Now that you know the 7 spices that may be sabotaging your health and the 2 safe allies that deserve a place in your kitchen, the choice is in your hands. Every meal is an opportunity to care for your body, strengthen your mind, and extend the independence we value so much as the years go by. It's not about giving up flavor, it's about learning to season life with awareness and balance. Remember, small daily adjustments can bring great long-term results. Cutting hidden salt, avoiding industrial seasonings, and valuing protective spices like turmeric and garlic can be the first step toward a healthier, more vibrant future. And I want to hear from you. Have you been using any of these spices without realizing the risks? Which healthy spice do you most enjoy adding to your recipes? Share it in the comments. Your experience might inspire others in this community, because aging with strength, health, and independence isn't just possible eats, a choice that begins with every meal.